have no hair. And the fact that you took the glasses off, it made you look, you know, significantly like a grandpa.
Yeah, well.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I am a grandpa, so.
Yeah, I know, but still, I'm still trying to get used to you having no hair. It was like shell shock for me. I don't think I've ever seen you without hair.
No. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
We're back. And today, the topic is, if you couldn't tell from the little sketch that we did before this, movies that everybody else loves that we don't.
Yeah.
And maybe don't understand.
Or it's one of those things where, for whatever reason, the media is like, you gotta love this movie! Mm-hmm. And we're just like, no. Mm-hmm. Please stop.
I made a list years ago on Manic Expression. It was like the top 5 movies that everybody says are great that I refuse to watch. Mm-hmm. And my whole, like, I opened it by saying movie snobs need to back off and just
but we're movie snobs.
What? And then I got absolutely roasted for, like, one of the movies, obviously, from the sketch we did is Gone with the Wind. I have never seen it. I don't want to see it. I have no interest in seeing it.
Okay, but what if I give you $5 to watch it?
No.
A penny.
Wait, how did you...
Pennies are going to be rare one day. They're going to stop making them, and then you'll be like, oh, I wish I would have taken that penny from Carly.
I remember that also on my list were Birth of a Nation. I don't care that it's the first movie ever made. And The Social Network, because who fucking cares how Facebook started?
Yeah, no, I haven't watched that one. I refuse to watch that one. I also refused to watch the new Batman movie.
Didn't miss out.
I also just was not a whole fan of the whole entire, like, Superman versus Batman idea, so I never watched it.
Didn't miss out.
Most of the DC movies I haven't seen, except for, like, unless they are, like, pre-2000. I've seen all the other, like, Batman movies because, you know, they're great.
Yeah.
But no, I think another one, too, that me and you have seen, but absolutely hated, what's it called? It's like that sci-fi movie where they're up in space and this girl wakes up, it's like, and there's a, like, robot guy, and he's played by Michael Fassbender.
Oh, Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus. I hate it so much. I hate Prometheus so much. It was hyped up so much.
That's one that actually made me angry leaving the theater, because I was really excited about that, and then I walked out going, that was...
I had a best friend at the time. Me and him had created the sci-fi club at school.
Nerd.
Yeah, huge nerds. I was the vice president. And then, you know, yeah, and then he graduated from high school, and he was mad at me that I didn't continue the sci-fi club, and I'm like, well, I got shit to do. But no, we went and saw Prometheus like 5 times. Each and every time I fell asleep. And I only went with him because he was my only friend at the time. And we were just best friends. We were huge nerds. We'd watch One Tree Hill. We'd watch Smallville. We'll watch, like, you know, Star Wars, Star Trek, all these different things. And then we went to Prometheus. I think towards, like, last time we saw it, he ended up putting, like, popcorn in my mouth.
Oh.
To get back at me for falling asleep.
Well, what is your first official movie on your list?
So how mad do you think I'm going to make people?
Oh, I've got a few that's going to make people mad. You start.
The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, wow.
But some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
I'm just gonna settle in and let you handle this.
No offense to Judy Garland, I love her.
Mm.
I hate The Wizard of Oz. I refuse to watch it as an adult.
Okay, what? Why?
So my mom loved this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and anytime I would stay with her, we would end up watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to be like Glinda, and she was like, oh, I went and was on a play, and I got to do this like Glinda, or something along those lines that I remember as a kid being like, that's cool.
Mm.
But it really got to me when my brother started to sing the Munchkin song.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild.
And anytime we would watch this movie, he'd end up singing the Munchkin song. Like, Lollipop Guild. It was just... He'd do the dance, too. And my brother is, like, 6'2" and will still do it to this day, just to piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
But, so the reason why I don't like this movie, I think it's overhyped. I think it's really, really overhyped. Yes, there are great aspects to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not denying that. I just think it's really stupid how this teenage girl is like, oh, I'm just in a magical world. I just killed someone. I'm going to take her shoes. Bye.
Give me back my slippers. I'm the only one that knows how to use them. They're no use to you. Give them back to me. Give them back.
Keep tight inside of them. Their magic must be very powerful, or she wouldn't want them so badly.
Yes, I understand it's supposed to be a mystical world and thing.
Mm.
But just how they transition throughout the story seems way too quick and way too... Like... I just feel like Dorothy's dumb.
Yeah. I mean, no one else thinks that.
No, everyone I've talked to is like, how could she be dumb? I mean, she's going to try to get home and she's really kind to everyone. I'm like, yeah, she's very kind. And stupid.
I mean, there's also the possibility that the whole thing is a dream, or, as proven in the sequel film that came out in the 80s, that she's psychotic and being electroshocked.
Well, that's what cracked me up about the sequel, is that the first movie is so light and happy and whatever, and then I feel like the sequel actually is more towards the books.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if they had done that with the original movie where they made it a little bit darker, but they're not going to because it's the, golden age of Hollywood, and they're gonna say, no, we want something happy, and we want to, make it, face paint that's toxic for, people's skin, but, if they had made it a little bit darker, I feel like I would have enjoyed it more, because I feel like it's just too out there.
I've never seen a horse like that before.
No, and never will again, I fancy. There's only one of him, and he's it. He's the horse of a different colour you've heard tell about.
If it were me, if I were Dorothy, I would not be singing and jogging along the frickin' road. I'd be sitting there and being like, I gotta fucking go. There's lions talking to me, there's a scarecrow talking to me, I'm pretty sure he wants to fuck me. I gotta go. That's the other weird part too, is that...
the Tin Man didn't want to fuck her.
No, the Tin Man didn't.
The Tin Man wanted to fuck the Scarecrow.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like, that's the other concept too, is that they don't say it because she's supposed to be a kid. She is clearly not a kid. And they have this weird chemistry between her and the Scarecrow. Like, great actors. Doing a great job for the time. It's great. I just feel like there's a really weird chemistry between Dorothy and the Scarecrow. And it made me as a kid feel awkward about it.
I mean, I always just saw it as like a friendship thing, but...
No.
apparently you're writing some fan fiction up in your head.
No, I'm not writing fan fiction. At the end of the movie, she's sitting there and she's saying, you know, the person I'll miss most of all is you, Scarecrow.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm always imagining the Tin Man and the Lion just going, the fuck?
And I think I'll miss you most of all, Scarecrow.
Oh, okay. It's kind of an odd thing to say.
Yeah, sort of a weird comment right in front of all of us.
Kind of thought this was a team effort.
Yeah, really glad I risked my life and everything.
Yeah.
I also thought the Cowardly Lion was obnoxious.
So you have no inner child, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was not the girl that was like, oh, I want to be like Dorothy, blah, blah, blah. If anything, I'm probably the Wicked Witch.
Well, my number 5, and I'll preface this by saying it's the only one on my list that the other 4 movies I wish I liked.
Yeah.
This one, I don't, because I'm just sort of morally opposed to it, and that's Bonnie and Clyde.
Well, I'm Miss Bonnie Parker, and this here's Mr. Clyde Barrow. We rob banks.
Why do you not like Bonnie and Clyde?
Because Bonnie and Clyde were cold-blooded murderers. They were not anti-heroes. And the way that the movie romanticizes them is something that I've always had a problem with. When I finally saw the movie, I thought it was boring.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone wants to call a gangster an anti-hero, you know, you would want to call John Dillinger that. Bonnie and Clyde do not deserve that title whatsoever.
There's actually a great movie that came out on Netflix a few years ago called The Highwaymen with Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson, where it unromanticizes Bonnie and Clyde. But the movie actually even takes like the law enforcement that were after them and turns them into buffoons that you're rooting against.
Big old Texas Ranger waves his gun at us, and we just welcome him like he was one of our own.
Hey, Buck. Yeah. Get the Kodak.
And I guess even back in the day when the movie came out, Texas Rangers, who they're making fun of, the family sued the production because they were like, this is defamatory.
Yeah.
It's just one of those movies where everybody's like, oh, it made the AFI top 100 movies and everything. And
one of those ones that shouldn't have been romanticized.
No, I was always like, the gangster as anti-hero can work if you remember that they're still the bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Corleone in The Godfather is an anti-hero. He's still the bad guy. And Bonnie and Clyde are presented as Romeo and Juliet. And I always just had a icky feeling about that.
Someday they'll go down together. They'll bury them side by side. To few it'll be grief, to the law a relief, but it's death for Bonnie and Clyde.
But Bonnie and Clyde has always been a big nope for me.